everyone, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another layout for the Confessions of a Paper Addict Cutfiles design team, and I am so lucky to be up on the 1st of December to share some of our brand new cut files that have just been released today, just in time for Christmas, and of course they're all very festive themed. And I'm going to be using the Put a Bow on It cut file. So it's this gorgeous ribbon bow, and as soon as I saw it I thought it would be perfect for documenting a layout about gifts. So I am going in with a homemade kit. This is just a bunch of random papers from different collections and bits and pieces that I have collected together for Christmas. And I've chosen it's kind of like a wreath, like a reverse wreath pattern paper. And I have 2 copies of this, and I've already fussy cut one out. So I'm going to use the other copy to frame my page, and I'm just using plain white cardstock for the center. And I'm going to create my own little gift box. So I've taken that bow and I've cut it out reasonably small. I'd say it's about 3 or 4 inches across, and I am going to place this as I would on a gift box. So this will make a bit more sense in a minute once I get the layout together. But first I'm just splattering some gold mist down. I just wanted that dry while I was getting ready to work on the rest of the layout. And now I'm going to back my bow. So I'm just going through this cardstock journal card pack that I got from Kaiser Craft quite a while ago, and I just like it's very Christmassy themed. The album I'm working in, most of the layouts I've done so far in that are quite that traditional red and green Christmas theme, so I'm trying to continue with that. And I've chosen these 2 red patterns. So I really like the gingham print because I feel like it reminds me of some of the ribbons I've used in real life in the past, and then I've chosen that deeper red just for a bit of contrast. So what I'm going to do is back the center bow portion here, the little knot part, the tails of the ribbon, and then the kind of inside loops of the ribbon with this gingham pattern, and then I'll back the rest of the cut file on the deeper red, and this will kind of make more sense once it's all done. But doing that, it kind of mimics that, that double-sided ribbon you can get where it's one pattern on one side and one pattern on the other, because when you tie a bow you don't see all the one side of the ribbon. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm explaining myself correctly. But to back my cut file, I am just doing the glue and trim method for most of it. So there we go, skip 2, and I've done all those pieces, so the inside pieces of the ribbon and the tails and the knot, and then I'm going to back the rest on this beautiful deep red grid pattern. So this is a nice way to use up some of those journal cards if you don't do a lot of Project Life. And these cards, a lot of them aren't that great for Project Life anyway, because they do have that rounded corner look, which some people aren't a fan of, and some of them are just kind of solid patterns, which, yeah. So I'm just going through now with some washi tape, and this is a gold glitter washi, and I am laying out that kind of ribbon around a gift box. I'm not explaining myself very well, but you know what I mean when you wrap a ribbon around a gift box. So I'm trying my best to line it up straight. I didn't measure it. I think by the time the layout's all together and all my bits and pieces on there, if it is not quite straight, you can't really tell. And I'm just lifting up the edge of my white cardstock and tucking the washi down behind it so I get a nice clean edge. And my ribbon is just going to go right on the top. So I'm really pleased with that. I think it turned out pretty much exactly how I wanted it to, how I envisioned it. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I'm using some more of the journal cards just to make some photo mats. I do use this nice green and cream polka dot to start with, and I'm just going to piece together a few of these journal cards to make it stretch all the way around my photo. I'm using a 4x4 photo, I'm pretty sure. It's a square photo, and yeah, I do come in now with this darker wood grain, and I thought it would be enough of a contrast to the green, but it's not really. I'm kind of annoyed at myself that I didn't use something a bit different for this layer, but in the end I'm not too worried about it. So I just want a few mats on this photo because I do want to tuck the bottom right corner underneath the bow, but I don't want to cover up too many of those beautiful gifts. So that's my little man standing underneath the Christmas tree on Christmas Day in 2016. All his little gifts out. Yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful photo. And I really like that he has those blue pajamas on because that's the only blue that I use on this layout. So the photo really stands out. Your eye is really drawn to that pop of blue, but it's not so bright and in your face that it takes away from the rest of the layout. So I'm just gluing that down. I'm just gluing my bow down in the center below the knot because I want it to look dimensional. I didn't add any foam. I might go back and add some later once I've put everything away in the album, depending how flat it looks, but I'm pretty happy with how it looks at the moment. So I'm going to speed this up in a second. I'm just pulling out all the die cuts that I want to use. So this is from a reject shop die cut pack. It might be from a really old Rosie Studio collection, but I'm not sure. So all I'm doing is just flicking through, pulling out the ones I might use and just dumping them on the layout. I'm not placing them carefully or anything yet. Now that I've chosen all those, I'm going to go through and move things around and try to get them placed where I want them. I do use that Joy die cut as my title, but I am going to move it out in a second. I did initially want to layer it over the top of my photo, but I don't really like it. It's just, I can't explain why. I'm just not loving it there. So I love those little peppermints. I am going to use those. I am going to use the little cat wrapped up in the Christmas lights and the little pug peeking out of the top of the present, just because I thought they were cute and funny and they just made me laugh. So I'm going to leave them there. I'm just playing around here because I do want to make a third cluster. So I kind of have a bit of a cluster on my title. I have that little dog and cat cluster, and then, I probably could have just left it, but it just felt a little bit bottom heavy. So I would like to make another cluster near the top. And I do play around with this gift and this little peppermint up here. And I don't know, it just felt kind of weird and forced, like it was just floating up there. So I do end up moving the gift down to just tuck in behind the top of my photo, and I'm a lot happier with it there. And I just move that peppermint up so it's kind of, sprinkled around like the other ones are down the bottom. They're just kind of floating around. I am just going to actually go through and find the smaller version of that peppermint because I just felt like it was a bit, that large one wasn't quite fitting in there. I swap out the envelope for that little plum pudding because I just thought he was a bit more of a contrast. The gift and the envelope were both cream, so they were just a little bit too similar. And I'm really happy with all that, so I'm just going to go ahead and glue all my bits and pieces down very quickly. This is very sped up, obviously. And the very last thing I'm going to do is just add some of these shiny mirror star. I want to say they're not sequins because they don't have any holes in them to sew onto fabric, and that is kind of what a sequin is. I think they're actually table scatters, and there are a couple of sizes, so there's a larger and a smaller version, and they're super bright and shiny, very mirrored. I really love these. Great for a Christmas layout. So I'm just going to scatter some of those around, and that's my layout finished. Make sure to check the Confessions of a Paper Addict shop because we are going to have new releases every day for the first 6 days of December. All amazing, festive, holiday themed cut files. Make sure to check the Facebook group as well because there are going to be some freebies over there, as there always are. I will link both of those below. Thank you so much for joining me today. Close-ups are coming up. I'll see you next time. Bye guys.